My hair look a little wild, but I can still fuck your bitch. And also, I love you. Good morning. Let's talk about it. So I was on a date last night, and I don't like to get very vulnerable with men on dates, especially first dates. Like I do, but I don't. Like I love to because it's like you get to have cathartic conversations with cool people. I don't because well, people once they figure out what you've been through in the past, they will be like, "Cool, I can see that I can treat her this way or do this or do that." And so with me specifically, I was like, hey, yeah, I told him about something I went through with an ex. I don't even remember which ex it was, which is really tragic. All I know is the guy just was like, wow, I wouldn't expect that from you. You seem someone who like has a good head on her shoulders, is really smart and intelligent and capable. I don't know. I can't picture you, like even being with someone like that because you seem like the type of woman who like knows what she wants and goes after it and wouldn't settle for anything less. And like a part of that broke my heart because I thought, shit, is this guy gonna treat me like shit now? Maybe, but whatever. But I did just straight up tell him because I'm self aware. I was like, I think my issue is that I overextend and overanalyze and understand someone's point of view. I told him, for example, I have this one friend who is like not the best friend ever, but she is going through a situation where she's pregnant and got abandoned by her baby daddy. And I even told him some anecdotes about the shit she's been through, and I didn't even have to get very far. He was like, holy fucking shit, that's fucked up. We didn't get to like finish this conversation too much farther, but I did want to tell him exactly. And do you think I'm gonna look at a fucking pregnant woman who's stressed out about like handling her finances alone, handling the death of loved ones alone, this, that, and the other? Do you think I'm really gonna look at a woman like that and that I'm going to go, oh, hey, sweetie, listen, you're talking a little bit too much about you and your finances and your family members dying and your rent and your love life that went fucked up and you're stressed about like being tired all the time and exhausted and sad and heartbroken and betrayed. You need to talk about me and my little issues as a 23-year-old who a part of me was just like I gave her too much grace because then eventually it was several situations where it did prove, oh, wait, no, she is just an inherently selfish person who only thinks about herself. Because it's like, oh, okay, you knew that I was drunk at that bar and had no way of getting home, and you decided to abandon me. And I could have been fucked because we were in a rough area, too. You just pulled an Irish goodbye and abandoned me. And I never really forgot about that. And then moving on, it was like, any other interaction, it was like I could tell her any small detail about my life and she'd be like, oh yeah, my ex-boyfriend did that. Oh my god, I can't believe he left me with this fucking baby. Also, fuck these people. And then she would just go on these rants where she would like have huge paragraphs where she would just rant about like she would name random names that I don't fucking know, and then she would just say that that person was an asshole and that they hated her for allegedly no fucking reason and just be super vague about all that shit. Like, fuck Amy Pignotti, she's a fucking cunt, and she said I have an anger issue. No, I don't. Fuck James Charles. Fuck Randy Letterman. Fuck Mr. Daniel and the Boo Boo Gang. And it's like, I don't know any of these people. I would tell her, I don't know any of these people. And you're being very vague in all these stories. Like, it's like you're just saying fuck all these people and saying that they hate you or that they think you have an issue or that you heckled them but you allegedly didn't. And all this other shit. Like, okay, it's like, I'm starting to detect that you're kind of the problem. I didn't say that last part, but it's like, I did tell her, I don't know these people, can you stop doing that thing? And she'd be like, okay, sure, and then do the thing again. And a part of me was like, sometimes she would have good moments. She'd reach out to me and be supportive and sweet. Other times she fucking wouldn't. And I think the last straw was when she really tried to do the whole thing about that guy I was with, the white twink Riley, the guy I had to fucking. The bruise on my nose, by the way, is damn near almost gone. Thank fucking God. But I still can't believe it's like I left at that dude's house, no sex, no anything, just to crash there after a wonderful date. The next morning, I'm throwing hands with some random ass bitch with a fucked up ass wig. And that's stressful, and that was traumatizing, and that had me fucked up. And she didn't reach out. Like, how do I put this? Let's just say she was quick to be all, ooh, that's why you have to choose better men. You should be more selective about who you hang out with. You're right, I should. So we haven't been talking very much since I cut her the fuck off. It's like, yeah, I'm just done with her. It's like, okay, I'm tired of like, we get it. We get it. Your ex had a big dick and also anger issues and this, and that. And you stayed through all of it. You saw every fucking sign. You saw that he was a psycho. You saw him cut himself and then rub blood all over you and toss you into the street to fucking embarrass you. You saw him do this. You saw him do that. You saw him do a million fucking things, and you still chose at the end of the day to fuck that dude. And you decided that a drug dealer who makes all that fucking money and goes to bars all the time and cheats on you all the time and doesn't spend a fucking dime on you, you decided this is the man who I should trust when he says that he wants to give me a baby and take care of me. And you want to sit there and tell me that I need to choose better fucking men. But oh, when I was online talking about how wonderful he is, you didn't say anything. When I was saying, oh, I wonder if this is a red flag or not, probably not, you didn't say anything. So how am I supposed to know what is a good or bad guy if you don't even fucking use your fucking mouth to help me out? She could have done anything. She could have been like, hey girl, don't forget, join this Facebook group to see if he's dating anyone. Use this to see, research his life, check out any websites that he may be on, see if everything he's saying adds up. Like, she could have. She could have. And she didn't. And just, I don't know. But I still thought at the end of the day, she is a pregnant woman who's going through a fucking lot. But I also thought she is also someone who has not made any strides or effort to have a life outside of that motherfucker, to have any ambition outside of that. It's like, we get it, he fucked you over. Like, goddamn it. And I'm trying not to be a hypocrite, because if you were to see me for the last few years, you'd probably be like, damn, Tamia keeps talking about this guy, that guy, and the other guy. And even now, I'm still talking about men more than I do about my actual fucking hobbies. But that's why every once in a while, I'll be like, you know what? Let me not make a video that's just talking about exes. Let me make a video about my hobbies. Let me get back into writing, painting, drawing, skincare, all that fun stuff. Because your life should not circulate around that. Just have a life outside of your trauma and outside of your relationships, or else you're going to drown and suffocate and be miserable. I even had to tell another friend this. I just straight up, this is actually a good friend that I'm mentioning, because how do I put this? I noticed that when I text them or call them, they don't respond and they give dry answers and they barely fucking care. But suddenly, when they're going through a crisis, they're okay with just calling me up and talking about themselves for an hour straight, and then maybe giving me 3 minutes that they can maybe sit through, where I can finally talk more about myself and my own life. It's like, oh, okay, so I just got to be your amazing fucking psychoanalyst, psychotherapist, all that fucking shit, and tell you what's up with your life and help you out so that you aren't crashing out hard, even though we all know you're gonna stay with that woman. But oh, when it's me, I can't even 3 fucking minutes. I can't even have a little 3 minute talk about, oh, I made out with this guy. He's so sweet, so cute. Just, it's like I overextend, and that's my issue. Like, you can even look at my last relationship, and or any relationships, and you could be like, oh, okay, I understood that this person had this background, this upbringing, this level of emotional intelligence, and I believed them at face value when they said that they were stupid. And because I thought, no, you're deep down really smart. They knew they were smart. They just wanted to play me like they just knew I was someone who still cared about them. And they were like, if I convince her that I'm just stupid and not that I'm doing this intentionally, I can keep getting away with this as long as I fucking want. And just, yeah, funny enough, my ex has been crashing out again. They get annoyed whenever there's a time when I'm not thinking about them, and I guess they were pissed because it's like, oh, Tamia went on a date with some fucking 6 foot tall Italian dude with arm tattoos who has a really nice job, and they made out and all that stuff. And I guess he saw that and decided, okay, time to send her hate messages. He's so fucking pathetic. Get a fucking life. Jesus Christ. But I thought to myself, yeah, nigga, how do I put this? He can be as sad as he wants, but he's someone that I'm happy I cut off. I set a certain standard, I'm sticking to it. Like I said in another video, I was cutting off so much more people that I considered friends, because it's like, oh, okay, so you say you're a friend, but you saw what that nigga did to me, you heard everything that nigga did to me, and you still want to be around him. Interesting. Well, you can be on that team, you just don't fuck with me. You can't fuck with Big T. You go over there. You go with the fucking loser who's an alcoholic and a fucking bitch. I am gonna stay over here and drink peppermint tea and be funny and interesting and vivacious as hell. You can be miserable. I hope the trade-off was worth it, because that's what you fucking chose. And also then because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna cut off these fake ass friends, because it's like, I think you should actually be rooting for me to be away from him and actually condemning him for his actions, and then that made it all the easier to finally cut him off, and I've been happy since. And he's big mad about it, but it's like, okay, dude, well, guess what? I over understood your situation. I was over understanding, and because of that, instead of it just being like, oh, hey, he knew not to do it that first time when he yanked my tits out of my dress, inappropriate, when I was at his house that evening. He knew not to fucking do that. and he did it. And like I tried to forgive him, as because I thought to myself, I understood he, but no, I shouldn't have understood what, like there wasn't anything to understand. I had to, sometimes I have to remind myself that I am the main character of my life, and that people from their own mindsets are inherently selfish, and they do shit because, like, how do I put this? Sometimes I don't have to have the mindset of, oh no, Jared just hasn't been around a woman in a while and he was just horny and being playful, and I don't know, maybe he was pent up, maybe I should forgive him. He hasn't had been with a woman in years, blah blah blah. He's naive, hasn't dated many people. Like, I don't fucking know. Like, and I don't know, he did seem like genuinely apologetic and like he was trying to like make up for it, so I did give him another chance. I shouldn't have, but I did. Plus, I guess I wanted the company, and also maybe some, I was in a position of struggle, so I also made some decisions that I probably would have not made if I had consistent food at home and a job at the time. So what can I say? But I will say this, at the very least, it I forgave him one too many times, because even when I was in a position where I could have been fine without him, I still deep down I was like, he's so sweet and he's so nice, and I know that he's just very naive and he's got these insecurity issues. He's got these tendencies to hide who he really is because he doesn't think he's worthy of me. I can still love him. He can, like, it's like, no, someone who is secure in themselves, even if they felt a little insecure in themselves but is mostly secure, they would go out of their way to treat you right. They would not go out of their way to try to degrade you when they have the chance, to try to do this, to try to do that. They would let you sleep peacefully in the night without trying to force you to stay awake and force you to fuck them. That's not what someone who cares about you would do. And I had to tell myself, hey, Tamia, if you were with a woman who you truly loved and respected and she just wanted to go home safely, would you try to yank her dress down? No. If you were with a woman and she wanted to just sleep throughout the night and she already said no once, you'd probably back off, right? You'd probably just like be chill, go take a cold shower. Exactly. And you sometimes have to remind yourself to be less understanding. You have to understand that what someone who would a narcissistic person do, and if someone's in a position where they even accidentally are a narcissist, that actually is 10 times worse. I used to have that mindset when I was younger, but then I grew, I don't know, I thought I was getting more mature and thoughtful and loving by being like, oh no, sometimes people make genuine mistakes and they don't mean it. But then lo and behold, those same people made the same fucking mistakes in different forms and usually in way, way worse ways. Like hell, I almost forgave my pregnant homegirl for the whole, oh, you abandoned me at a bar when I was drunk, and then guess what? That festered into, oh, look, she's still talking only about herself and not giving a fuck that I am dealing with, like, the aftermath of a brutal fucking assault and a traumatic breakup, and she took the opportunity to rub it in my face instead of showing actual concern. Sometimes you have to do that. Like, sometimes you have to tell yourself, hey, you could, like, if I could rewind time, I would go to myself during my birthday or my holidays and I'd be like, hey, Tamia, these men claim that they love you and adore you, but if they really did, wouldn't they have spent the $20 that they got at their 20 an hour job? No, actually 20 fucking $3 an hour, maybe even 25 depending on the job. If you're working full time and you got a girl that loves you and adores you, and you know damn fucking well that you love this girl, wouldn't you get her a thoughtful birthday gift? Wouldn't you like splurge on her, spend on her, make her happy because you have the funds? Right. So why is this one making you excuses? Why is this, like, would someone who loves you abandon you during your most vulnerable moments, like during the holidays or during times of trauma? No, they'd be around. Stop giving them so many chances. And that's something I'm learning. I feel embarrassed that I even told my date about that last night. But at the same time, what the fuck ever. Because, yeah, even this one dude, well, there's not much to say about him other than, I don't know, I actually won't bring that up. I'll just say, I gave people chances because I saw the good in them. I knew that it's like, okay, I know this person doesn't have a lot of people they can talk to, and they can't be vulnerable with anybody else but me. But it's like, no, but if I were in their shoes, guess what? I would still bother to fucking ask how the other person was doing. Otherwise, you're a selfish asshole. You need to care about what the other person is doing. You can't just use them as a trauma dumping grounds. You have to actually treat them well and be a good fucking person. Like Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, so that's something I'm learning. And I think I'm getting pretty damn good at it because I'm pissing off a whole bunch of people. But boo hoo. Like, yeah. And what's fucked up is the friend who I am like kind of a therapist for. I helped them already in the past with a bunch of trauma. And then I ended the friendship because they were just not treating me well. Then they threw a fit. They were my enemy for like a few months, and then they started to be more beneficial to my life again, being a little bit more sweet. They came back, and now the pattern's repeating. So now I have to actually check them soon, like, hey, this is your final warning. You actually have to give a fuck about my life and be consistently there as a friend. You can't just come running to me every time like I'm some secondary girlfriend or some shit, metaphorically speaking. Whenever the girl that you know you're not supposed to be dating doesn't text you back or does some toxic shit. You know she's toxic. I've told you she's toxic. I know it's hard to leave relationships, but like, dude, prioritize your fucking platonic friendships and treat me like I fucking matter. Otherwise, I can't be your friend anymore. And that's just no. And I have to do that soon. I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at figuring out what my boundaries are, my standards are, all of that. I'm figuring out which treatment I want and which ones I don't want. And so far, so good. It's work in progress, but yeah, I seem like I have it all put together, but deep down, it's like, what can I say? I'm human like everyone else. I'm gonna have moments where it's like, oh, like hell, even ironically, my date last night, who I was telling about the pregnant lady and like he's the whole, if you watch the beginning of this video you know who I'm talking about. This same guy told me a million red flags about him, and I'm just kind of reminding myself like, hey, I don't have to feel obligated to give this guy another date because I don't feel like he smiled at me as much as he smiled at anyone else. I don't feel like he's exactly the safest. I don't feel like he's exactly the sweetest. And you know what? If I feel really insecure and I get the feeling like a bad omen that if I were to be with him, that bad things would happen, that I wouldn't get the romantic treatment I love, that he wouldn't be a sweetheart dude, then I need to go ahead and just not entertain this fella any further. Also, he's not even that cute. He's just tall with tattoos. Like it's if like I actually have to also remind myself like, yeah, you think you like this dude. His nose is kind of weird. His lips are weird. He tasted like cat food during the kiss. His tattoos aren't even that great. And his conversation, aside from trauma dumping, was not exactly spectacular. He, at most, was decently fun, but there is nothing there that would actually make me want to see him, and any other emotion I feel is just potential putting him on a pedestal. This is not some dude who's probably going to take me to Catalina Island. This is some dude who's probably going to ghost me and or take me on some sort of lukewarm date. So why am I so invested in this person? Because I see their potential or because I understand their life. I need to stop doing that. I need to be like, what the fuck do I want out of my life? I want good friends. Guess what? I have a fucked up life. I still care about other people. I should expect the same treatment. And I should only tolerate people who are actually going to add to my life and love me and make me feel like I fucking matter. Bye. 1738.